Messages of unity have been absolutely overflowing the last couple of days. Can you feel the spirit? This one is wonderful from Joe Lockhart. This is not meant to be mean or vindictive. No, no. But the people around real Donald Trump who have enabled him to bring our democracy to the brink have to be held responsible for what they've done. They can't be rewarded for what they've done. Next up, we have this guy, Wajahat Ali, who says you can't heal or reform the GOP, who are now an extremist party. They have to be broken, burned down, and rebuilt. When Biden is in power, treat them like the active threats to democracy they are. If those who committed crimes aren't punished, then they will be more emboldened. Next, we have Touré. Touré, hooray for Touré. If you're a Trumper, I hope the pain and anxiety you feel now is excruciating. Can you feel the unity yet, guys? Are you feeling the unity? You just voted against America and for a cult leader who has no redeeming or admirable qualities. He's a cretin who cares nothing about this country, and you don't either. You deserve all the pain and more. Sounds like he's from it's like he's like next to Andre the Giant in The Princess Bride. Jennifer Rubin from The Washington Post, their conservative commentator, had this little rosy diatribe. Here it is.
It's not only that Trump has to lose, but that all his enablers have to lose. We have to collectively, in essence, burn down the Republican Party. We have to level them, because if there are survivors, if there are people who weather this storm, they will do it again. They will take this as confirmation that, hey, it just pays to ride the waves. Look at me, I've made it through. And so up and down the ticket, federal, state, local offices, the country has to repudiate this.
We can all unite and hope there are no survivors from the Trump administration, right, guys? Lincoln Project co-founder Steve Schmidt also had some thoughts. It is essential to understand what we are watching. Joseph Robinette Biden. I mean, who puts his middle name in there when they're not trying to be funny? Joseph Robinette Biden of Delaware has been elected president of the United States of America. Number 2, American democracy is under attack by the defeated president. Number 3, he is not acting alone. He is supported in this attack by his White House and campaign staff. He is also supported by several law firms. All of these people are complicit in the assault against American democracy. None of them should ever be forgiven. All of them should pay a brutal price for betraying the American ideal. I mean, you give a little credit to Jake Tapper, who pointed out the ridiculousness of all of this. An organized attempt by former Dem officials to blackball from employment anyone who worked for the U.S. government during the Trump administration seems the exact opposite of the calls for unity and healing we've heard from President-elect Biden. Yeah, sounds pretty true. Good for him for pointing out what should be obvious to everyone. But it was Tapper's former employer, Salon, who captured the real emotional state of the modern left. It's Biden's job to act like a grown-up, but unity and civility are a long way off. It's natural for Biden to set the tone, but civility toward racists and conspiracy theorists is not an option. You can't unite. You can't be civil. That's the modern left. Yet the media is harassing D.C. Republicans and normal, everyday Trump voters into jumping on board sort of like with a nationwide version of Kumbaya. Not only has the left not done any of that for the past 4 years or the 8 years before that, they are still actively doing the opposite. Look, if this legal stuff doesn't amount to enough to change anything and Joe Biden is our next president, I'll live with it. I'll hope he sucks a lot less than I think he will. But I'm not going to burn down any cities over it. If you're making lists of punishment and retribution, it's hard to argue that you have the high ground. By the way, if you need me to sign my own name to the list, I'm up for it. But leave some extra room, because I'm going John Hancock all over your asses.